Magandang umaga or araw sa ating lahat, no? I'm Rafael Valle at ngayon we will be talking about the chapter 19 of Al Filibusterismo, so which was also entitled The Fuse, no? So, we have some sort of a realization. So when we say diffuse, it could pertain to a bomb, right? The fuse, which is a trigger for the bomb to explode. Okay, so let's think of a concept that the revolution symbolizes the bomb, and the fuse refers to rescuing, no, Maria Clara. So we can see from this chapter that Simon's primary objective was only to revenge and rescue Maria Clara. Rather, the the plan to revolutionize against a country is just a secondary plan of Simon, not the primary plan. No? So when we say the fuse, no, like, now it is entitled the fuse, right? It could pertain that there is something wrong with this chapter pertains to Maria Clara. No? Yeah. Also, naka-highlight din sa chapter na ito si Placido Penitente na siyang anak ni kabisa nga andang nga siyang ignorante na tanging lamang gusto niya sa kanyang anak na pag-aralin sa isang prestiyosong eskwelahan para may ikabuga siya sa ibang tao na that my son is studying in a prestigious university, which was his primary objective, her primary objective, why he sent Placido into university. And by that time, the only university sa El Filibusterismo was the University of Santo Tomas. No? So as we dig deeper into this chapter, we I came, or we can come up with a question as to why Placido has lost the chance to study again in that university. No? Again, University of Santo Tomas was the only working university by that time. So kung natanggal siya or na-exile siya or na-suspend siya from learning in that institution, where else will he go? Right? Now, to answer that question, we'll be digging further into this chapter. Also, in that university, there was this one professor, no, wherein he teaches well, really well, that his teaching, no, caught the attention of the church as well as the government, which really offended these two individuals, which are the church and the government, whose primary goal is to keep the Indios ignorant. So, by the time nga nalaman nila na itong professor na ito ay sadyang magaling, they suspend this professor. Okay? So, just imagine how corrupt the church and the government before in the novel. Also, there's this Spaniard as we read further into this chapter. Mababasa natin na merong Spaniard na nakipagsaniban ni Simon, no? So this Spaniard was someone who was sent to jail by the praile na ang tanging gusto lang ng mga praile ay kunin yung magandang asawa nitong Spaniard na ito na sumalig ni Simon. So, this Spaniard only seeks revenge for what they did to him and also to his wife. No? So, when we come to do the revolution, we may come to think that bakit nga ba naging advance yung timetable or kung bakit nga ba naging advance yung pangyayari, no? na murag paspas na kayang pag-revolutionize. It's not according to the plan of Simon. Okay? So this is where the Maria Clara, no, sits in. So Simon found out that Maria Clara, while working in the church, was dying. So Simon, being his primary objective is to rescue and seek revenge for his father, who is Don Rafael Ibarra, and his companion before, who is Elias, to seek revenge for them. That is why he came back, no? Not just seeking revenge for those individuals, he came back to rescue Maria Clara. And upon hearing or knowing that Maria Clara is dying, the revolution has advanced or advances. Bakit? All the preparation, yung pinaghandaan, yung pagod ni Simon, no, uh, no, for years, suddenly went down the drain. And this is why Simon became so emotional. And there's this thing here, no, it is a metaphor or personification rather, that Simon likened, or Simon has this affection or sees Maria Clara as a phoenix. A phoenix is a mythical creature which was really no mythical, which means no one ever has proven that this creature exists. So similar to Maria Clara, uh, Phoenix is a fantastic beast, or rather, it is a fantasy. So, sa pananaw ni Simon, Maria Clara is something na para lamang sa kanya. So, something like exceptional. Oh, basta yung, moving on. No? So, when we see a phoenix, right, it is really a unique creature. Wala siyang kaparehas. So, it is one of kind, kumbaga. And just as Phoenix is a one of a kind, Maria Clara is the only woman for Simon. Okay? So, just as this metaphor metaphor teaches us or tells us, that is why Simon became so emotional that this the revolution advanced. No wonder na yung revolution against the country ay nag-advance ng napakabilis. No? Also, when we say kuan, no, si Simon again, as he planned this revenge, no, as he further planned this urgent or abrupt revolution against the country, he visualizes the faces of his father, who is Don Rafael Ibarra, and also his colleague before, which is Elias, no? Kasi Don Rafael Ibarra only wants what's good for the country, and he is not uh, satisfied, or he's not agree with the method of Simon na gagawin niya pa lang kasi he only does what's good for the country. And also for Elias, no, so si Elias is agree siya sa revolution only if the motivation is according to nationalism and justice. Pero yung motivation kasi ni Simon was pure dark and napakadilim talaga, no. And also, probably we can see that Simon is already hallucinating. So let's just imagine that we are preparing for something, for a very long time. It takes years to repair, and then suddenly some news comes na which tells us that your plan and preparation will be just drawn to waste because this certain thing happened which is something that we really never wanted to happen, kay it leads our plan to fail, no? So, yung kinalakay natin na estudyante, which is si Placido Penitente before, why we have a question kung bakit nga ba siya tuluyang umalis mula sa Universidad ng Santo Tomas. So, this student learned or heard something about revolution, no? About the coming revolution. Kaya nga, he wanted to, he wanted to, migrate or meron siya, ganahan siya muhawa gikan from that town together with his mother. So upon hearing na atong upon her mother hearing na murag na tangtang or nasuspend niyang anak mula sa university, probably yung mama niya kay napahiya masyado kay of course she was boastful that her son goes to university. So upon hearing that, they went out of town, which was also the plan of Placido, kasi may nalaman siya nga there's this revolution coming and they don't want to become part of it or they don't want to become affected of it. So that's why they escaped, no? And I think that's the entire chapter, no? The entire content of this entire chapter, which is the fuse. Again, the fuse pertains to the sudden change of mind of Simon to advance the revolution as what he learned na si Maria Clara was dying. So his mind darkened and everything becomes so shift. It shifts everything, no? So now let's move on to the next chapter, which is the chapter 20 or the Arbitrator. So this chapter pertains to a certain individual, and this certain individual is the enigmatic Don Custodio. Why enigmatic? Don Custodio is deceptive, no? So when we say enigmatic and deceptive, what he does to others is different from his true intentions from within. So he is different or difficult to comprehend, no? So, as we dwell into this chapter, we can see or we can question na Don Kusuju kasi, he reached out or asked help from these two certain individuals, namely, si Ginoong Pasta nga nagloko sa kanya, naniloko siya, at also si Pepay nga isang bayaran na babae na, bayaran, she tempted Don Custodio in exchange for money. So we can ask the question, why did he even bother asking these two? No. And also, yes. So Benzaib. So Benzaib again. So si Benzaib, nandito siya sa chapter na ito. So Don Custodio, he was nicknamed Buena Tinta nitong si Benzaib. Because Benzaib believes na si Don Custodio is really good and competent in writing papers, when in fact, that was just his reputation, and that is not really him. It was just his reputation because Don Custodio is not that really competent. So again, being Benzaib, the weak-minded, influential journalist, murag na pabilib siya ni Don Custodio na pag makaedukay siya, so, moto, no? So what we comes to this question, bakit nga ba mataas or maganda yung reputasyon ni Don Custodio, no? So let's consider na si Don Custodio isa siyang Spanish siya na may connection sa mga taong makapangyarihan. He also married a rich mestiza, and again, the weak-minded pero isang highly influential journalist kay Don Custodio was able to impress this journalist, which is Banzai, no? That is why he was impressed or believed ni Don Custodio na he was really good in writing papers, no? Also, bakit nga ba siya may mayroong magandang reputasyon? That is because he is very skilled in debating. Si Don Custodio was very industrious. So, in this chapter, there's this question naman sab, no? Bakit nga ba na bakit nga ba napipilitan or anong naglisod man si Don Custodio nga i-approve to proposal sa mga students with regards to school, no? Kay Don Custodio is being torn apart between approving the students' proposal and giving them the chance to have access to the school and the this being torn apart if like yang i-piece out yung mga diminution which pertains to the praile. So if he approves the proposal of the students, he may displease the diminutions of University of Santo Tomas. So he can serve two masters, no? So what do you think? Na naitabo niya or yung decision? Let's find out. Also, makikita natin sa character ni Don Custodio na ay yung quirkiness niya, yung sense of mentality niya ay iba talaga. So imagine yung sa chapter 1, when he talked to Simon nga, parang to deepen the Pasig River, we need to raise stocks. And when you really think of that concept, it's really that impossible, no? And also, na meron itong mga, yung mga notion niya before nga, para daw maiwasan yung mga aksidente, we have to have horse-drawn carriages with free wheels. Imagine that. Possibly okay siya, pero hindi siya industrious. And also, para daw maka-lessen ng cost yung gobyerno sa mga prison or yung mga sa mga prison costs, we have to reform the prisoners to have these yung compulsory community service, just like that. So those are just the notions or the mental innovations of Don Custodio. So we also come to this question: how does this Don Custodio treats the Indios? So imagine a father na ayaw niyang yung pinipigilan niya yung anak to progress or to grow to something more responsible or to develop into according to his developmental stages, to progress more, to grow. Just imagine nga pinipigilan yung anak na grow, thus preventing his children from progressing into something better. That is why he does not agree on praising Indios, because he treats these people or the Indios na baka they might become too confident or they might become too boastful na to the point na mag-rebel sila against the dominations or the government and the church in the entirety. Now which will create further problems within the government and the frailes. And we're talking about Don Custodio, so we come to this question: what kind of a person is Don Custodio? Again, he is very deceptive. He is enigmatic. No, he is very different, difficult to comprehend, because what he does is different from his mindset or from his what goes into his mind. So, for sa question to later ay ganina nga mo approve ba si Don Custodio nga magtayo or sa proposal ng mga estudyante na sina Basilio na i-teach yung Spanish nga language in the university or regarding sa school ba? kung i-upload po to niya. Then it will be revealed in the next chapter. So given that the character of Don Studio, maybe just maybe kita na nato nga unsa man jud ang yung decision whether to approve the student's proposal to have this uh, Spanish language to be taught in school, or to please or further please the Dominican families nothing who doesn't really have any plans for the Indios, who plans to oppress the Indios, no, from progressing, and thus further oppressing them, for them to become, to maintain, or to still become weaklings. So I guess that's the end of my report. Again, I am Rafael Martin Del Valle, and I'm really thankful that you've listened until this part. And that would be all, and thank you.